What's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to historical facts that mess with your sense of time. And well, I've done a reaction to one of these videos about 2 months ago, and it was stuff like, what artist was it? There was like an artist who, I think it was Da Vinci, about how he was making art, about how he died in like the 20th century, like 1920 or something. It might be someone else, but just a famous artist. And that blew my mind because I was there thinking, what, I thought Da Vinci or whoever it was, I think it was Da Vinci, was like making these pictures, painting and stuff like this. Well, not painting and stuff like this. Did he draw or did he paint? I think he did both. I don't know. Anyway, it's not relevant. In like 1580 or 1640 or something like that. But yeah, I was pretty surprised by that, and it just makes you realise your time is, I don't know, time is messed up. I don't know what I'm saying. But we're going to check this out. Links are in the description to my Patreon if you want to see some more of my reactions. But let's just see some of these historical facts / moments that will mess with my sense of time. And maybe yours as well. Unless you're not as stupid as me, so you maybe not. I don't know.
Welcome back, my friends. Today I have another fact video for you all. Once again, we will talk about some historical facts that mess with our perception of time. So let's wrap up this boring intro and dive right in. Fact number 1, Cleopatra lived closer to the iPhone than seeing the Giza...
What? Cleopatra, like, isn't she known for ancient Egypt? Well, I guess maybe the pyramids were built way before ancient, but that's actually crazy.
Pyramids under construction. Egypt's most famous queen was born around 70 BCE, while the Great Pyramids of Giza finished construction in 2550 BCE. By using highly complex math, we can determine that Cleopatra lived about 400 years closer to our era than to watching the pyramids go up.
Damn.
To put this into perspective, since she lived closer to our era, she was actually closer to owning an iPhone than seeing the construction of the pyramids. If you want to go even more wild with this, you could say that she was closer to becoming a TikTok influencer than seeing the pyramids of Giza getting finished.
That is wild.
Fact number 2, George Washington never knew dinosaurs existed. George Washington died peacefully at home on December 14th, 1799, aged 67 years old. The first president of the United States under the U.S.
When did humans discover dinosaurs existed then?
Constitution, George Washington was commonly referred to as the father of his country. He, like anyone else at the time, didn't know that dinosaurs existed because they were not scientifically recognized as such until 1824. Back then, British naturalist William Buckland first described Megalosaurus, now regarded to be the first dinosaur to be scientifically named. And yes, that also means he never got to enjoy the concept of dino nuggets. Fact number 3. Stegosaurus was older to the Tyrannosaurus Rex than the T-Rex is to us. Depending on your dinosaur knowledge, you might already know that the T-Rex and the Stegosaurus did not exist at the same time.
Oh.
But for everyone who wasn't already aware of this, I will make it clear. No, not every dinosaur lived at the same time.
Oh, okay. I was thinking they were all... I mean, it makes sense, to be honest, because obviously some would just go extinct because they're just not really built to survive in this world, but...
And don't even get me started on the topic of mammoths. Anyway, the T-Rex, which lived 85 to 65 million years ago, became a species about 74 million years after the Stegosaurus died out. Fact number 4.
What?
Coca-Cola is only 25 years younger than the country of Italy.
Wait, what the fuck?
The earliest version of Coca-Cola debuted in 1886. Meanwhile, Italy became a unified country in 1861.
I was there. I mean, obviously there was land that people lived there and stuff before, but Italy wasn't considered a country at this point. Was it just sections of that were different countries, or just like what was really going on then?
Before that point, the country had either been a collection of states or part of various empires. The 1861 reunification made Italy a kingdom, and it became a republic in 1946 following World War II. So the unified people of Italy only had to wait 25 years to enjoy the world-famous beverage. Fact number 5, Vincent Van Gogh could have enjoyed a Coke. This is the continuation of the previous fact. Since the famous painter died in 1890 at age 37, it would have been possible that he could have...
He died so young. I know he cut his ear off and he was a bit mental, but theoretically he could have lived until like the 1950s and stuff, right?
Since the famous painter died in 1890 at age 37...
1970, so yeah, he could have lived... Wait. 37, 19... 1890, 47, 1900. I mean, he could have lived to 97. You never know. 1940s. He could have lived around the World War two times, which is crazy to think about.
It would have been possible that he could have sipped on a Coke. So maybe a few of his most famous paintings were inspired by the delicious taste of Coca-Cola. Fact number 6. Canned beer is younger than some serving U.S. senators. We move on from Coke to another canned beverage. The parents of the newborn Dianne Feinstein, future Democratic senator from California, wouldn't have been able to buy a can of beer to celebrate.
Holy shit.
There were 2 reasons for that. One, the country was still under prohibition. But also what's considered the first commercially available canned beer went on sale to the public in January 1935. Just in time for the future senator's terrible twos. Fact number 7.
Jesus.
A samurai could have theoretically sent a fax to Abraham Lincoln. The following fact is based on 2 common misconceptions. Samurai warriors were around much later than you think, and fax machines are much older than you think. Okay.
Wait, fax machine? They weren't around then, were they?
So let me untangle this timeline. The samurai were officially abolished in Japan during the Meiji Restoration in 1867. Meanwhile, the first ever fax machine, the so-called printing telegraph, was invented all the way back in 1843.
What? I mean, it would have worked a lot differently. But what the that's nearly 200 years ago.
So samurai were still around when faxes were already invented. To put this into perspective, President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated at Ford's Theater in 1865, which means there was a 22-year window in which a samurai could have sent a fax to the famous president. Even though this is a funny concept, in reality such a thing obviously would not have happened. Fact number 8. The Ottoman Empire existed. The second to last time the Chicago Cubs won the World Series.
What? The Ottoman... Are you This is actually pissing me off. Wait, so the Ottoman Empire existed the second to last time the Chicago Cubs. So not the last time, the second to last time. God damn, the Cubs have been on a dry spell, unless they won it very recently. But Jesus Christ, they're on a very dry spell. But what is that? What 17th century? I'm joking, but probably what early 1900s, 1920s maybe. Wait, I'm so baffled right now.
Before the Chicago Cubs won the World Series in 2016, they hadn't won one previously since 1908.
Fuck me. The Cubs hadn't won it. That is actually mental. That for 110 years, 108 years. Fuck me, that is actually insane.
I know, a pretty bad track record, but that's not why we are here. The famous Ottoman Empire was founded around 1300, and it lasted all the way until 1922.
Jeez.
That means that the second to last time the Cubs tasted victory, the Ottoman Empire still existed. So technically, some citizens of the ancient Ottoman Empire could have witnessed their win in 1908. And there's another interesting fact regarding the Ottoman Empire, being that the Ottoman Empire was not only around to watch some baseball, but they also could have seen the Paramount Studios. This famous studio was founded in 1912, 10 years before the Ottoman Empire fell. So maybe some citizens of the empire took part in an amazing Paramount Studio tour. Fact number 9. Buffalo Bill Cody was alive at the same time. The Germans were bombing with Zeppelins.
I don't even know who Buffalo Bill is. He sounds familiar, but I don't know who he is.
2 distinctly different eras of warfare are brought together in the life of Buffalo Bill Cody.
He's cowboy?
For everyone who doesn't know who the man was, the showman was one of the most colorful figures of the American Old West. After he started performing in shows that displayed cowboy themes and episodes from the frontier and Indian Wars. Shortly before his death, the legendary fake cowboy will have heard about a horrifying new concept in fighting wars, namely dropping bombs from the sky. German Zeppelins and planes were doing this over Paris in 1916, signaling a giant technological leap in the killing of fellow human beings, especially since Buffalo Bill was used to combat between cowboys and Indians on horseback.
Completely different world.
Fact number 10. Sharks are older than trees.
What? How? Trees have been around since dinosaurs. Unless there were sharks. Okay, I'm baffled now. Sharks have been around for that long? Jesus.
Sharks have existed for more than 450 million years, whereas the earliest tree lived around 300...
That can't be true. The first tree 350 million years ago.
150 million years ago. Not only are sharks older than trees, but they are also one of the only animals to have survived 4 of the 5 mass extinctions.
Jeez.
Now that's impressive. At the same time, it's pretty frustrating that after surviving for so long, they are now threatened by humans who want to eat their fins.
What? Is that true? Wait, what?
Fact number 11. Pluto didn't even get to complete one orbit around the sun between the time it was discovered and
Oh, that's sad.
the time it was declassified as a planet. Pluto was discovered thanks to an observatory back in 1930, but its status as a planet would quickly go to ruin after it was heartbreakingly demoted in 2006. Because of its distance from the sun, Pluto takes 248 Earth years to orbit the sun just once. That
What?
means it didn't even get halfway around during the time it was being called a planet. Fact number 12. On the
fuck?
cosmic calendar, which starts with the Big Bang, Homo sapiens don't show up until December 31st.
I mean, that just shows we are such a small percentage of all of this thing that's going on, right?
In 1977, Carl Sagan came up with a way for us mere mortals to conceptualize our place in such a long timeline. The cosmic calendar, which
I'd say we're probably, what, 11:59? It's the last minute of, not Christmas, it's the last minute of the year. 11:59 at night, that's when we are, like, where we are on the calendar, right? Crazy.
condenses the whole history of the universe into one calendar year. If the Big Bang happened first thing on January 1st, the first sexually reproducing organism, just a single-celled eukaryote, materialized on December 2nd. The last non-avian dinosaurs didn't die out until December 17th. And finally, Homo sapiens showed up at around
11:48, yeah. Close.
11:48 p.m. on December 31st. And when it comes to our culture, this realization gets even more intense, since we didn't invent the wheel or writing until some 12 seconds before the new year. But that is it for today.
Jeez. Jesus, that was pretty interesting. I do enjoy these videos, to be fair. They're so fascinating just to sort of get an idea of just things that happen at what time. Cleopatra is also noted as having created the first vibrator recorded in history. Using bees and dried gout, she really wasn't in... What? That can't be true. It's a funny fact, though. Of course, I know there was a time in evolution without any trees, but I still feel in utter shock at the idea of the world with no trees at all. I mean, oxygen and stuff. I thought trees would have been way before any sort of living mammals or anything like that. I'm kind of confused. I mean, there would have been plants and stuff, but oh, fuck knows, man. I guess it is what it is. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this reaction. I'm feeling pretty tired, so sorry if I seem like that. But yeah, until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.